The 2024 Republican National Convention's platform has adopted new language on abortion. The platform, approved yesterday, removed a right to life provision and a call for a national law protecting unborn life. It also defended IVF, or in vitro fertilization, a practice the Catholic Church declares immoral. But the document praises the overturning of Roe v. Wade and says Republicans stand for families and life. It also emphasizes the role of states in fighting to end abortion. Here to discuss the GOP's updated stance on abortion and fertility health care is Dr. Ken Craycraft, the chair of moral theology at Mount St. Mary's Seminary in Cincinnati, Ohio. Ken, great to speak with you again. First off, your reaction to the 2024 GOP platform, specifically the remarks on abortion and late-term abortion.
Well, it's nice to be with you, Catherine. Thank you for having me back. Generally speaking, I'm disappointed with the platform. I'm disappointed with its tone in the first instance. I don't like the way that it sort of globs onto the agenda, or the language, I should say, of Donald Trump. I think there's some language in there that's problematic and aggressive, and in a way that is off-putting. In terms of abortion, it's very disappointing because what the platform has done is that it has abandoned abortion as a moral issue and reduced it to merely a tactical political issue. And so what you have in this platform is not a strong statement for the protection of unborn human life, but rather kicking the issue of abortion and the protection of unborn life to the states as a tactical political issue rather than a moral issue. And this is a sea change in the platform. And I think it's going to cause a lot of people who are on the pro-life side to have very serious questions about whether this platform is something that we can get behind, and whether or not, therefore, this is a candidate or this is a party that really has pro-life interests in mind.
Ken, one of the big differences between Catholics and other denominations within the pro-life movement is the topic of IVF. The Catholic Church is clear IVF is immoral. That being said, how problematic is that new provision in this document, in your opinion?
Well, once again, we have a problem here because IVF, and it talks about IVF and it puts in parentheses fertility treatment. But of course, IVF is not fertility treatment. IVF is bypassing fertility. Obviously, it's a proposed solution to infertility, but it's not a fertility treatment. On the contrary, it's the creation of a human lives. And of course, every IVF procedure involves the destruction of unwanted embryos. So it's incoherent to say on the one hand that one is pro-life, but on the other hand it says one is perfectly fine with destroying embryos in the process of in vitro fertilization. So once again, we see the document has a lot of tensions that veer on contradictions and even incoherence. And this is one of those areas.
Why do you think, Ken, that the Republican Party is making these concessions after the arduous work of overturning Roe? And do you think it's turning its back on ardent pro-life members?
I think it's a tactical retreat, Catherine. I think that what has happened, we've seen states after states, including, unfortunately, my home state of Ohio, pass a legislation or constitutional amendments that are very aggressively pro-abortion. And so the Republican Party apparently sees this as a losing issue on the national scale, and therefore is downplaying abortion and downplaying the protection of human life, unborn human life, and its platform as a tactical retreat. I think this is a mistake, but I think that's what's going on. And therefore, by pushing it back to the states, the party is basically saying, let's fight it out at the state level and keep the federal government out of it. This is consistent with what President Trump has said, both in the debate and other places, where he's basically said, I wash my hands of the abortion issue. I appointed the Supreme Court justices in my first term that helped to overturn Roe v. Wade, and now I'm done with it, and I'll leave it to the states. And I think that's what the Republican Party is doing here.
Well, we appreciate your insight, Ken. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.